Laberlampe.
All right there. Hey, everybody. This is Steve, formerly of the Midnight Ghost Train. Formerly because the Midnight Ghost Train is not around anymore. But I'm still happy to be on this podcast show and tell you guys a little bit about our festival experience that we've had. The overall experience of festivals can, to be honest with you, can sometimes be more of a pain than it is beneficial, and more of a pain than what it's worth. Sometimes there's usually a huge just cluster going on at festivals, and it can be very, very, if it's a disorganized festival and not put together well, it a lot of times turns out to be not worth doing it. We've played a lot of festivals where it's been a complete mess and nothing is organized and things are not put together well. And it just becomes a pain for everyone involved, and they're usually not worth it. But if a festival is put together well, and it's ran well, and things move on time, and things are put together in the right way, the festivals are just awesome to play. They're an amazing chance to get to play for a lot more people than that normally come out to your shows. And they can, really help us out a lot. We've played huge festivals. We've played big slots at Hellfest and Motor Coulter and, several big festivals. And we've also played smaller festivals that have just been absolutely amazing for us. For me, the criteria for a good festival as a band, like our band would say that it would definitely just be it ran well. Regardless of how many people are there, regardless of what's going on, if it's put together correctly and if it runs well and if it's smoothly put together with the right kind of, effort into it and a right idea on what they want to do, then a festival is a great experience. But if it's not put together well and if things are just, people are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, it's a complete mess and a waste of time. The most treasured memory that I'd say from our festival experiences would have to be probably our favorite festival that we've ever played, which is also probably one of our favorite shows and just favorite, moments ever on stage. And that would be at a festival in France, a small little festival in France called Rock-en-Bourlon. It was a really tiny festival, tiny stage, maybe like 400 or 500 people or something like that. Not a whole lot of people, but it was definitely our favorite festival, favorite moment, probably our favorite show of the 10 years we were together. It was an incredible experience. It was put together so well. The crowd was just amazing. There was something about that show that just had a really magical feel to it. And we had played Hellfest just maybe a month or two before the Rock-en-Bourlon. And even though we played for over 10,000 people at Hellfest, that Rock-en-Bourlon show was just the best thing we've ever done. It was an absolutely amazing experience. The crowd was incredible. It was run real good. The sound was good. It was just a cool feel. It was in this tiny little town in the middle of nowhere. The stage was built out of a weird trailer. And it was in a park, and it was just people out there having fun and just wanting to hear music, and it was absolutely crazy and absolutely amazing experience. The difference between the European festival circuit and the American festival circuit, I don't know if there's really a difference per se, but in Europe there's a lot more festivals. In America there's a lot of festivals, but they're in Europe, especially the summertime, and there's a lot of festivals in Europe. So I'd say that's probably the biggest difference is there's just always chances to play several festivals in Europe. In America, there's, little tiny things that go on that people put together and they call them festivals, but they're not really like festivals. It's just a bunch of bands slopped on into a slot together and they try to call it a festival to get people excited about it. But that's not really a festival. There's a lot more in Europe. There's countless amount of festivals in Europe. I'm sure most of your listeners are European, so you guys know you have, a choice between a million festivals every year to go to. And so, yeah, I would say the biggest difference is that there's just a lot more festivals in Europe. And funny stories from festivals, I don't know if really funny stories, but I can remember our time at Hellfest. Hellfest was it was the first like biggest festival we ever played, and we did our sound check at Hellfest. And when we did our sound check, there was about, we were playing in front of this huge area, and there was maybe like 50 people in the audience. There was like 50 people out there when we did our sound check, and our sound check was probably 10 minutes before we played. So it was sound check, a 10-minute wait backstage, and then we played. And there was probably 50 people back out there. And we went backstage after our sound check, and we were just really bummed out. We were like, there's 50 people out here. I thought this was going to be a huge show. And we were just bummed out, and we were just, thought we were going to be able to play in front of a whole lot of people. But at the same time we were playing, there was I think it was like Rob Zombie or something was playing on the stage next to us. And I was like, man, nobody's going to be here to see us. And we didn't have any crowd whatsoever, and we were just really upset. And then, we just said, let's just go do what we do and just, play for those 50 people in this gigantic spot, in this gigantic place, and just do what we do. And we're backstage this whole time, so we don't know what's going on. And then it comes time for us to go on stage, and our drummer walked on stage first, and we heard this huge roar. And it was just, my bass player and I looked at each other like, what the hell is that? And then my bass player went on stage, and there was a gigantic roar. Then I went on stage, and this place was completely packed. So packed, it was barreling out the sides, and it was as far back as you could see. It was an insane amount of people there. They estimated probably around 12,000 people for our show during that. And it was just, in the course of 10 minutes, it went from 50 people to 12,000 people. It was insane, and it was really surprising. We thought that there was going to be no one there to see us, and we were really bummed out. And it turned out to be this gigantic show, and it was an absolutely incredible experience. And we actually got rated in the magazine as us and Alice Cooper as the best shows at that festival. So that was really cool. But just getting to play in front of that many people and being able to show people on that size of a stage was a lot of fun experience to have. So I guess that's my take on the festival experience. Number one thing would definitely be organization. And if you can get an organized festival together to be well and put it together right, then you can have a great festival and you can have a great time. Now that's from the band's point of view. From the crowd point of view, they probably have no idea whether it's organized or what the bands are going through. But from a band's point of view, that's my biggest thing, is keeping it organized. So I appreciate you guys getting in touch with me. I appreciate everyone who's listening. I appreciate all you guys' love and all your guys' support over the years. The Midnight Ghost Train could not have existed without the fans out there, and we're very thankful for the years that you guys have given us. And right now we're not going to be making music, but we've moved on to a different parts in our life. I'm becoming a full-time firefighter, and Brandon, the drummer, he's moving on to different things, and we're all just moving on to different things in our life. And who knows what the history and who knows what the future has in store for us. But right now I just want to say thank you to everyone out there that's made these last 10 years that the Midnight Ghost Train's been together such an incredible part of our lives. So with that, I'm Steve from the Midnight Ghost Train, and I'm signing off, and I'll see you guys later.